So if you're talking about slavery, you're talking about people who deals with culture. Say for instance, you have a
No, it's
king
not culture.
somewhere. Yes, you have a king somewhere who thinks that everybody around him is he owns them, and then he could tell them to go to farm, he could tell them when to wake up, he could tell them when to do whatnot. But if you're talking about the city, there's no such thing as slavery in Africa. There's no such thing as slavery in Africa, in the cities.
Oh, are you joking with me? Libya, you have what was the nation that you mentioned, Debrat?
Mauritania.
Mauritania, Saudi Arabia, Yemen. Do you want me to post video on that? Actually, that's why I came here. I want to talk to Debrat about something.
You forgot about Sudan as well.
What I do wrong?
No, actually the opposite. And I saw that you had a conversation with this guy called Abdullah, and he was feeding you nonsense. So I wanted to give you an opportunity to fact check anything that you've heard in the conversation related to Islam. And I'm quite familiar with this topic. Do you want to fact check Islam and what they have told you?
Yeah, bro.
I'll show the things on the link.
Taqiyya, what did you send in the back chat?
Burn fire, bro. Burn fire, bro.
I'll start with the first thing that they lied to you regarding.
He's using me as a ploy to smash Islam. Let's go.
No. I want to fact check what they said. They were speaking basically about how you kidnap people, and then it's the same thing as if you work for your white man, I think what they said.
No, if you have a contract, you gotta honor your contract. Isn't that correct?
That's being in slavery is not a contract though. We didn't both like come to an agreement like, yeah, okay, I'm gonna be your slave and I signed a contract.
No, Veli, do you got a job?
Oh my God! Don't use job as with a job. Hold on. With a job, yeah. Hold on 1 minute. I left my job, yeah, and I just walked out. Yeah. No one chased me down the road and captured me and then forced me back into the job. Yeah.
Right.
I left the job, yeah, and then I sued them as well. So I can do that, yeah, because I'm not a slave to that company.
When your job, if you do something bad, you'll get fired and you're out of there. You're not next to the guy no more. If you're a slave and you do something bad, you're not going nowhere, bro.
So your understanding of slavery from an Islamic perspective is holding people against their will. Yeah. And oppressing people, right?
Hold on, if I was a slave of you, just hypothetically, and I say to you, F you, I don't want to be under your contract anymore, and I just walk off, what would happen to me?
Yeah, you just walk off, right? But I might. But if you owe me something, I might come for that. If you owe me something, I might come for that, right? If we got a contract, if you break the contract, then I'm do what I'm supposed to get. But you already a slave right now. You're working for that white man.
Abdullah, show us what the slave contract looks like. Show us what the slavery contract looks like. We need to see that.
It's similar to the contract you got with the white man that you're working for.
And they try to minimize that. Actually, you cannot leave your house if you are a slave living under Islamic Caliphate. And it's not abolished. It's still practiced to this day. What they lack is Islamic Caliphate. So there's no verse in the Quran or the Hadith explaining that this is for that time. Today we have something else. Whoever said that is not a Muslim. They're actually saying they're better than Muhammad and Allah. Do you want me to show you a reference for that?
Hey, Taqiyya Watch.
So are we going back to people who's...
Malik, yeah. You have to take this beating like quietly right now. All right. So I'm joking, bro. You have to share your screen. Just share your screen.
So I'm sharing my screen right now. Can you show the screen? I'll just show you so you don't think I'm making stuff up.
You can share Taqiyya Watch's screen.
Yeah.
Oh, it's okay. We're live now.
Can you see it?
Yeah, we could see it.
Yeah. So the Prophet said that if a slave run away through the land of the shirk, just means non-Muslims, then his bloods become permissible. So what kind of argument was Abdullah presenting to you when you work for the white man?
It's permissible to shed his blood.
Yeah.
Wow.
So what was the argument that he was presenting that, you work for the white man and it's the equivalent thing, basically? Actually, you can behead him. It goes further than that.
Wow.
Okay, one thing
is there any Muslim here, just to make sure that we have some balance to what I'm saying?
Yeah, there's two Muslims.
Alhamdulillah.
Oh, okay. Yeah, so let's have fun. Here's another one.
Ladies and gentlemen, let's get ready to rumble!
Here's another one. If a slave ran away, basically, the slave Jarir was running away, and they caught him and they struck his neck. So you behead him. How is that the same thing as working for the white man? Open mic.
You said working for the. I don't know about the second phrase that you said, but if you're saying that if a slave runs away and his blood is permissible or whatever, certain things about this, the context of the hadith is, you could explain it in two ways. It's either you explain it in the right way, or you explain it in a way that will be harmful to people who's listening. And that is, when we talk about slavery, it's like, if I would explain it to you, I would say, okay, I'm chilling, I'm on the defensive side, and then someone comes to attack me, and they are prisoners of war. If they get away, I don't know what they're going to do. I don't know what kind of secrets they learn from me. I don't know what information they're going to give to the next person. So if we're talking about if I'm hunting them down, it's like, okay, it might be right and it might be wrong, depending on the situation that I'm in. But if we're talking about someone who's your slave and then they just run away and then you try to kill them, that's wrong. So if I'm not saying I'm explaining it perfectly, but I'm saying if you don't read the hadith and you don't hear it from someone who would explain that, this is not what it means, this is not what it means, you would just go about, run away with whatever. And then most things is political anyway. Most things that you see in Islam, it deals with the bad politics. It doesn't go with the real reason why, that thing was actually said.
So let me explain to you. So Zubida is not here. So but her point remains that she said that chattel slavery is not an Islamic thing. So can you guys see my screen?
Yeah.
Okay, chains around their neck. Write that in sunnah.com. This is what you're gonna find. Let me see. Islam. Just write chains around your neck. Islam.
But Taqiyya Watch.
Hold on. Let me present the source.
Let
me present the source. So this is what it says. This is Bukhari, by the way. You are the best of people ever raised up from for the benefit of mankind, referring to Quran 3, chapter 3, 110. The best for mankind are those who bring them with chains around their necks until they embrace Islam, and thereby you save them from eternal punishment of hellfire and make them enter Jannah, meaning paradise. So this is chattel slavery, built into Islam.
Uh-oh.
I mean, please, if you have any comment on that.
Wait.
Taqiyya Watch.
You said you are the best. This is not. The best of mankind are those who bring them with chains round their necks till they embrace Islam. So when we talk about chains around their necks, to me, I could say it's either a literal action or it's either restraining people. This is what I'm.
Yeah. So Allah loves those who has chains on necks and they're brought to paradise.
Just give me like 1 minute. I'll be back. I'm not going nowhere.
No. I'm not in that camp. I think we should have time to respond. So if you're busy, just come back in a second.
You enjoy yourself, bro? Huh?
Well, I'm not really stuck on one topic. I just want to give you a chance, D-Brad. What have you heard that you want me to fact check?
Bilal. Was Bilal freed?
Okay, so first of all, the question is flawed, but I will answer it. The question is flawed because who cares if one person was freed, and then you have over 100 million that were enslaved through history.
Hello.
So is that Bilal really that valuable? What about the 100 millions that were not freed, that were having the balls?
This is a janazah, and this hasn't. You haven't even prepared.
Hello, can y'all hear me?
Flowers or anything? You're just carrying out this janazah. This is mad.
I can answer your question regarding Bilal, but I think that the question is flawed. I mean,
can you hear me though?
Yeah, we can hear you.
Yeah.
Okay, cool. I'll be leaving in like 5 minutes, 10 minutes. So go
Sure.
ahead. Yeah.
Respond to
So
the
did you
question,
understand
Bilal.
what I was saying about?
You were speaking basically about
Did you understand what
self-defense,
I
and
was saying about?
you were speaking about prisoners of
Yes.
war and self-defense. I don't have any problem with that, by the way. But Muslims
Okay.
were not in self-defense. They were. I'm talking about the first generation Muslim, the first 1, 2, 3 generation Muslims, which should be the closest to Muhammad, right? They were the enemy. They went out of. I can show it right now. If you can see my screen, conquer Egypt. Just write that. Can you see it here?
Go ahead.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
So Muhammad is saying that you conquer Egypt. What has Egypt done to Saudi Arabia? Muslims were the enemy. They went into foreign land, took the sword and colonized them. This is just one country.
The non-Muslims say that Islam spread by the sword, so is that true or not? Let's talk about what happened and then you make a judgment. The Islamic government spread by force. The Islamic government spread by force. The expansion of the Islamic empire was done by force. There's no question about that. The Sahaba went and fought, took over other people's land, and that's how the Islamic Khilafah grew.
Another country, you just write this: Syria, Iraq, Yemen.
Oh my God.
Syria will be conquered by Muslims, by the way. Yemen will be conquered. And then Iraq, let me see if I can find it. Yeah, Iraq will be conquered. That's not self-defense. You're leaving Saudi Arabia, Mecca, to Syria, Egypt, Jerusalem, Spain, Persia, which is Iran. India was conquered.
What is the truth of the matter? Was Islam spread by the sword? Or is it all defensive and lovey-dovey and whatnot? What is the real, we had to fight. That's why I went and fought. What is the reality? Well, the fact of the matter is that in the lifetime of the Prophet ﷺ, we can say without being apologetic at all, that pretty much most of the battles were battles that were defensive in nature. That's very clear. You don't have to be an apologetic at all. Look at the situation. Who was persecuting whom? Who kicked whom out of their lands? Who was the one? So it's very clear that Badr and Uhud and Ahzab were very necessary. And even the conquest of Mecca, like it had to be done if you had to survive. You can't just let them keep on attacking you. However, it is also true to say that not all such battles can easily be put into this category. Some battles, especially some saraya, and remember saraya was the expeditions the Prophet did not participate in, he sent others out. Many of the saraya, especially in 9th and 10th Islam, there was no dire need, there's no threat at all. Going to the fringes of Oman, for example, right? Going to the other side of Bahrain, for example, it's not as if there was an immediate threat in some of those saraya. And especially we talked about the Battle of Tabuk. The Battle of Tabuk remains a big question mark amongst seerah specialists. Why? Why was one of the largest armies ever sent up north? For what? And in reality, it seems one of the strongest reasons is to show the powers up north that Muslims meant business and that they are going to attack, which is why Abu Bakr as-Siddiq took the initiative to attack. Followed the same route when he went to attack Sham. Same route of Tabuk, and he went from Tabuk onwards. So the process was basically setting the precedent for them. Now, whatever is the case about the time of the Prophet, there is simply no denying that the Khulafa al-Rashidun and the Umayyads engaged in offensive conquest of other lands. The Sassanid Empire did not pose any immediate threat. They were not attacking the Muslims at all. In fact, as we will study, when the Muslims attacked the Sassanid Empire, Rustum said, "What are you guys doing here? Why are you attacking us? I mean, we're not bothering you. What are you doing over here?" Remember, that was the famous, we'll get to that conversation today and next time as well. And the Romans as well couldn't care less about the Arabs. Remember, we said this from the very beginning. Both the Romans and the Persians, they were minding their own business, fighting each other. And they were not fighting the Arabs at the time because they didn't see any strategic advantage in controlling the Arabs. The Arabs were not a civilization that offered anything to them, and they didn't care about oil back then, right? Unlike now. So there was no reason for them to invade. If they had wanted to invade, there could have been no stopping them before the coming of Islam. But there was no reason for them. Now that Islam has conquered and is solidified, There was still no immediate reason for them to invade. There's no threat at all. And yet Abu Bakr as-Siddiq sent armies of tens of thousands of people. And Umar ibn Khattab followed suit.
Please respond if you want some time.
I'm asking, were they Sahih hadiths you're bringing?
Yeah, everything I've shown so far to my knowledge is Sahih. Please let me know if they are not Sahih. And if you want them in the back chat, I can post them right now.
I don't.
Yeah.
Okay,
Everything
I don't go. Listen, I don't go by if something is Sahih or not Sahih. I try to apply my little basic knowledge to explain whatever the hadith says. I might be right, I might be wrong. But the thing is, if you're talking about conquering, remember these people are tribes. And then when you have your livestock, say for instance, if the Chinese people come and they do trade and then they take your livestock, you have to go there and take it back, right? So I'm not saying, look, I'm not saying everything. Look, during the times of the Prophet, the only thing I could understand by their conquest was taking back whatever they had as Muslims. That's like revenge. Hold on, that's like revenge. But after he passed away, I could say you have certain people who will do conquest based off of politics, self-interest, in the wrong way, trying to improve Islam in the forceful way, which is wrong. But if you're talking about this hadith that says go back to Egypt and take this, or go back to China and take this, it's definitely
not go back. It was never theirs. Umar ibn Khattab sent armies there. He was the leader of the caliphate.
How do you know it wasn't there? That's my point. You don't. They are tribes.
Because they lived in Saudi Arabia. So, an example. So, if the Muslims left, I'm talking Muhammad's generations, right? The best Muslims. If they left Saudi Arabia, Mecca, and now they're conquering Canada, and I say it was never theirs in the beginning, and your response is, how do you know it was never theirs? It's a silly argument.
And the same goes when Umar ibn Khattab sent Amr ibn al-As into Egypt. Egypt was not sending any army into Arabia. And Amr ibn al-As with 4,000 people said, give me 4,000 people, I will give you Alexandria, which was the capital of that region. I'll give you Alexandria. Why? What was Alexandria doing to the Muslims? Nothing. So the claim that, all of this is a defensive battle, frankly, it's not proven by anything. And it goes against common sense. Why would you send tens of thousands of people when there's no threat at all? And the fact of the matter, therefore, there is simply no denying this.
It's a silly argument. Can you see it?
I'm not saying Canada was theirs. I'm talking about if certain people, say for instance, if the same Muslims, this same Arabs that was against Islam, if they take something from the Muslims and they run away to Canada, of course they're going to get chased down. That's my point.
Yeah. Okay. So the best way that I can respond to this is to
wherever you run to, they're gonna hunt you down because that is not your property anyway.
Okay. So the best way I can respond to this is to let a Muslim preacher speak. Can you share my screen? Okay. Yeah. Okay. So the best way that I can respond to this is first of all to show you what Muslim preachers are speaking among themselves, and to show you a map how Islam actually spread, to make sure that we have the same reference point.
Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala promised this ummah in this Quran that the ummah will inherit this earth. That the ummah will rule over this earth, not just part of the earth.
Okay.
There are some Muslims amongst us these days who want to go around and say, oh, Islam was never spread by the sword. That's a blatant lie. It was spread many times by the sword. The Sharia was spread by the sword. The implementation of Sharia was spread by the sword.
I'll leave the mic there. I'll leave the mic there.
Okay, when you're talking about
look, why is this guy lying though? No, he's been doing this lying for a long time. And you know what? Dumb, ignorant people are falling for it, man. No, I'm saying no. The thing is, the ignorant are falling for it. It's like he's doing taqiyya right now, man. What you mean?
Yeah,
he's his own kind of shaitan. Shaitan kind of taqiyya, man. He's lying. Well, he's doing some next thing, man.
Let's test your claim.
Da'if hadith. He's not look. He's bringing up a hadith.
Let's test your claim. Let's test your claim.
He's bringing up da'if. Okay, look. You said 310 from the Quran. Okay, the Quran. You brought up 310 from the Quran, right? So go check. What does the ayat say? Bring up the ayat from the Quran. Don't lie and show da'if.
This is what I would tell you. Like I was saying earlier, it's either for political reasons, greed, conquest, whatever you could call it. Yes, I agree with you. Every time a Muslim go out there to oppress other Muslims, either through conquering them to accepting Islam or taking their property or whatever the case might be, is wrong.
Okay, so are you calling Muhammad flawed? Can you show my screen?
Taqiyya Watch. I want to
just show my screen because they will. One second. But hold on, I'm not finished with my arguments. Can you show my screen?
Taqiyya Watch. I want to ask you a question.
No, don't run away now. I'm going to post some heavy stuff.
The Roman Empire. No, okay, forget your lies. I'm saying the Roman Empire. Where were they? Where were they at that time? Now, where were they at that time? So who got conquered? Tell me who got conquered. They were enemies, right? So Roman Empire, and then okay, if you lead a nation, what happens? He's acting like we're weak people, man. He said, he's acting like we're something like we sit down and we just hum around and don't. Okay, if you lead a nation, what happens over time? Of course, if people try to invade you, right? So you fight back.
So Veli, by the way, I posted the link in the back chat. If we're gonna have
he's trying to give some fake image, man. He's trying to give out like everybody's trying to start war for no reason. Wars happen for reasons. And
you have to moderate
this. Nations, they war against us.
He's having his feelings hurt right now.
You make this like adults. I'm sorry, Taqiyya Watch. Like he's not necessarily.
Yeah. So Veli, if you can either kick him out or moderate, because we're gonna have a fruitful conversation.
Why you get it sad? Okay.
Because you don't have self-control. Have self-control and we can have a good conversation. When you speak, I won't interrupt you.
Come on.
And opposite. So you go to that comment, you write like this: invade India.
Okay, come on.
Samaroon, can I just have like 5 minutes before I leave so you can take over? Please?
No, let him. No, I want to see. Okay. No, it's okay.
So I'll keep going down. I'll spend 15 seconds. That's all I need.
Samaroon, because when you came in,
I understand that. I just want him to do this. Go all the way down and show if it's Da'if. Or Sahih. Go all the way down. Keep going down.
I have no
keep going down. Don't lie to the people. Keep going down.
Veli, can you handle this?
Why you get sad? No, because you're gonna expose.
So invading India. So when it comes to
keep going down.
No problem.
The thing is, you guys don't know about this website. Okay, keep going down and show where there's
Veli, this is your channel. I'm not a person that likes to scream.
Alright, chill out for a sec, yeah. Let my man show his piece, yeah. And then any questions that you want to ask him about, like going down to the bottom to make sure if it's Sahih or anything else like that, yeah. When he's finished doing his thing, you come in and ask him questions about that, innit?
So there are three categorizations when it comes to the hadith. Sahih means authentic, Hasan means good, Da'if means it passed the test, but it's the lower rank. So I'm using mostly Sahih and just like 1 or 2 Hasan. So 98% of...
According to my understanding, Sahih...
I'm not finished. What's wrong with you? I'm not finished.
I'm sorry. I'm just cutting you off because I'm letting you know.
So Veli,
Sahih
can you handle him?
False to me.
He doesn't have any self-control.
I'm sorry. Go ahead.
So this specific is Hasan, which means good. It passed all the tests. The previous one that I showed was all authentic, Sahih. So here Muhammad was speaking about how to invade India. And it's Muhammad saying the following, that there are 2 groups from my ummah, which means the Muslim population, that Allah will free from hellfire, basically. And one of them are the one who invades India. That's not self-defense. The Muslims lies around 200 million Indian people, and they ran the caliphate there after colonizing them for 800 years.
For there is simply no denying this. And the same goes, by the way, even for our lands of India, of Sindh, Makran. Why would it's true that a pirate or a small mini lord basically irritated some of the Muslim, traders. There's no doubt. But you don't send an army to attack because of a trade dispute. Think about it. You don't send an entire naval expedition to conquer land. They conquered land. And they established, the Umayyads established an extension of the Umayyad dynasty over there. And that was the beginning of Multan. Multan was the earliest Islamic land. Makran and Multan, these areas were the earliest Islamic lands. From the time of the Sahaba, some of the Sahaba were alive at this time when Multan was conquered. What for? You're going to establish a mini dynasty over there? For what? So clearly, there's not just a defensive jihad going on here. There's no denying that the early Muslims wanted political conquest.
The previous reference that I showed was Yemen, Iraq, Syria, to show you that it's not self-defense. Okay, here it is. Sahih Muslims, do you see it? You say that I'm lying. Here it says that Syria, it's talking about Muslims conquering them, will be conquered. And then you will have Iraq that will be conquered. Yemen will be conquered. The mic is yours.
Okay, like I told you before, according to my understanding about Islam, not everything that says Sahih is Sahih, and not everything that says is false is false. I just go by my understanding and what I could interpret by the hadith, whatever hadith that's been given to me. I'm not calling myself a scholar or whatever. I just go by little logic. So when you say certain things, all this hadith that you said, it's either true or false. But according to my understanding, I don't think the Prophet ever would order people to go killing and fighting other people for no reason. That's all I can say about it.
So when you say no reason, what are you referring to?
1 second. If they came over, or it was certain Muslims, or I said certain Muslims, if it was certain Arab people that was going against the Muslims, because if we're talking about Arabs, we have those that converted to Muslims and those who are still the bourgeois or whatever you call them, who don't like the Muslims. So if they are attacking the Muslims and taking their property to the east or to the west or to the north or to the south, this is a tribal war. They have all the rights to go to the south or to the north or to the east to get their properties back. That's my point. But like I told you earlier, if you have Muslims, which in history, you and I have seen certain...
I'm talking about the first generation Muslims, the best one. So let's just make sure that you actually respond to what I'm saying.
Okay, if you're talking about the first one, then most likely it'll be a retaliation over property. That's what I could interpret.
Hold on. At the stage of that, was Muhammad even alive? Prophet Muhammad.
Yeah. Muhammad said that he has been commanded.
No. I'm saying if he said that was a prophecy, okay, it happened after he died, right?
But Muhammad was mentioning these countries by name.
Either way, at what time did it happen in history? What time did it happen?
Cameroon, can I have 2 more minutes, please?
Okay, so Muhammad said, you follow me and the first 3 generation Muslims. Do you want me to show you? So, okay, here it is. The best generation, first, okay, here.
And if you're saying first 3 generations,
Sahih Bukhari, hold on, let me present the information.
The Prophet never lived for over 300 years.
Listen to me, okay. So Muhammad is saying here, the best generation are those who lives in his generations, all right? And then those who lives after them, second generations. And then their third one, let me see, after them, yeah, it's the first 3 generations basically. Those are the correct versions. So every Muslim should try to look at their example and try to replicate that, of course, with modern circumstances. So that's why you have group like ISIS who says that Muhammad's way was doing this and the first 3 generations did this. We should replicate it. Do you understand?
So if I'm going by the Quran says those who have the best character is those who practice goodness. So
yeah, the best character The best character is not in line with liberalism or America or UK. The best character is in line with Muhammad's example. That's why I want to show you Muhammad's example. Do you understand?
And that's what I'm telling you. Muhammad the Prophet, may peace be upon him, never oppressed nobody for no reason. It's like I told you, the war is...
What are you talking about?
Okay, exactly. The wars... Okay, why is he bringing up one second. The wars is either through defense or through retaliation. And I don't see no problem when you're defending yourself or
no,
you
it's not
retaliate.
self-defense. Okay, so you go to Quran chapter. We go to Quran chapter 24,
No matter how we
55.
talk about it, well, I'm about to leave because I know
Oh,
no matter how we
before
talk about it,
you go, hold on, before you go, yeah, look,
Who controlled the Levant? Now I want Taki to answer. Who controlled the Levant at the time?
Hold on.
The Byzantine, right?
Taqiyya Watch, can I just say something? Because I need to go, yeah? You know the prophecy about conquering India? That had real life effects because the prophecy Ghazwat al-Hind, yeah, what does Hind mean? India. So there's a prophecy which is not in the Quran, but it's in the narrations, Sahih al-Bukhari, that they're going to invade India, and until India is invaded, the second kind of Messiah, or whatever you call, will not come back. So India, over an 800-year period, was raped and pillaged, not through defense. They weren't defending themselves. They were conquering. They went in there.
Rod, your own people invaded India. What are you talking about? You're invading yourself.
That is deflection.
Let me finish. So
let him finish.
Let me finish.
My last.
So when they went into India, the reason they went into India is because of the prophecy. Because it's like a self-fulfilling.
How do you know? That's a claim on your part.
Why are you not letting me finish my sentence?
Okay, let him finish.
Let him finish.
Now let me finish my sentence, sir. You can't have some impact. I know it's upsetting to hear this, but it's true. When they went into India, even now there's a group here. There's a group here in India in Pakistan called Ansar Ghazwat al-Hind, and they are a terrorist group that is trying to invade India. So even now, this prophecy is not it's not a joke. Because whenever
you're drawing comparisons.
Hold on, 1 minute. Let me
that
finish.
Don't exist in reality. It's
Let
in your
me
mind.
finish. When
Veli, can you moderate this one because they're loud.
They won't allow me to finish the sentence.
Yeah, Taqiyya Watch, you wanted to say something. Anyone that wants to reply to what he's going to say.
These kind of conversations, they are not neutral, by the way, because a lot of people have emotional attachment to their beliefs. So it kind of demands self-control, or Saddam Hussein as a moderator. If there's anything you guys have heard for what I've said, it's the following. So you go to Tirmidhi, which is one of the 6 valid hadiths. You go to volume 4 and page 235. Who's laughing? Who's laughing?
Mohammed, I beg you.
Mohammed.
It's muted now, yeah? But it's cool.
Mohammed,
is this hadith?
Yeah, unless you want to ask him questions, yeah, just carry on with your point, innit? Yeah.
No. I have no problem. I have no problem with the laughter. Actually, I wanted to. Do you think I'm making stuff up? I'm about to read what your prophet said about the prophecies.
No, but he's a Shia though, so he don't. Take
Okay. Yeah. So it says here the following that
I'm asking as a mother. Is this Quran? Is this Hadith? The Sunnah? What is this?
No, this is Hadith, the saying of Muhammad according to the Sunni Hadith, which is 90% of the Muslim world. So it's significant. They are above majority. So the Muhammad.
It's not Bukhari or Muslim. It's Tirmidhi.
The 10%.
No. It's Tirmidhi with Sahih, meaning authentic. All right. So this is valid. So the Prophet said here, indeed, Allah gathered the earth for me. And I saw the east to the west, meaning I saw everything. And surely my ummah, meaning the Muslim community, they will have the authority all over everything that was shown to him, basically. And he had been granted a couple of things, blah, blah, blah. So basically, he's going to be his community, the Muslim community, will be covering the earth, left to the right. And it's Sahih, as you see here. And if you look in the commentary, they're not saying anything new. You can actually read in Hadith. If there's anything you've heard me say, I'll jump out after this. It says here, this Hadith just means report, what Muhammad said, is explicit on the point that there should come a time when the Muslims will rule the entire world, since the earth was shown gathered up for the Prophet. So, Islam has this built-in virus that they have to conquer the world. And some Muslims are better than what Muhammad demands from them, but those who want to follow it, the name is ISIS, Boko Haram, and even peaceful Muslims want Islam to spread. But yeah, know this, that within Islam, it has this built-in virus that they should conquer the world. So you better take care of your borders. That's my last point.
See, this is how you people want to do. We want to spread nonsense.
I just want to make sure that I put it on the line as the Quranist. I do not follow Hadith and Sunnah, so I do not agree with utilizing Islam by force. If you're a Quranist, it will say in the Quran that we do not compose anybody in this religion. It will also say in the Quran, to cause harm to somebody is as if you cause harm to all of humanity. So chopping off head, chopping off hands in the name of peace, in the name of Islam, beating your wife because she slept on the wrong side of the bed, according to peace, aka Islam in Arabic. We do not stand for those things. Just want to make that on the line.
Okay, you guys, you know, I'm a layman, right? And then what you get to speak to somebody of knowledge that can really school you, man. You want to know, you coming to me because I'm not that much knowledge. We need to speak to an alim, speak to somebody that can actually tell you the truth. And the thing is, you come to these ahadith, man, you're lying, man. You're trying to spread some kind of lie. Like, what do you want to do? What kind of image do you want to spread? You think people are going to live Islam? Islam is growing every day. Wallahi billahi tallahi, every single day. If you're going to make us out to look, whatever you want to do, keep doing. It's just going to make Islam grow. And Taqiyya Watch, you're going to make us out to look like terrorists. Okay, inshallah, whenever that time comes, we won't look like terrorists, and then it'll be okay. Everybody to do what they do. War is war, bro. So is that what you want? That's the image you want?
Actually, the one who claims to be a terrorist, I have been victorious with terror. Do you want to see who said that? According to Bukhari himself, here it is. Sahih Bukhari. Shut your mouth.
Some kind of image, such a bitch ass up. But also, he said just because he's out
shut your mouth.
I can't do shit. It's easy to call a nigga to poke him up easy, man.
I have been.